Is it a conspiracy to malign brand India? While globally India is called the pharmacy of the world, why are some back home deriding our entrepreneurial spirit and our medicines, our vaccines, our syrups? Remember a year back, the opposition mocked India's indigenous vaccine as BJP's vaccine. Its efficacy was doubted. Even the trials were said to be shady. Akhilesh Yadav even went to the extent of saying that he doesn't trust nor will he take the vaccine. But on the 1st of March, the Prime Minister showed the way by putting his trust in brand India. He took the first shot of Made in India co-vaccine. These visuals silenced all critics. Today, again, the same doubters are back, deriding and dismissing India's pharma. After Gambia, now 18 children died in Uzbekistan after consuming a cough syrup that was made in India, a cough syrup named Doc 1 Max. However, after a thorough probe, their own government gave a clean chit to the Indian manufacturer and called it a case of unsupervised overdose. But back home, people almost rejoiced that such a thing had taken place, said that an investigation should take place, and also said the Prime Minister should stop boasting about how India's pharma industry is good and how we are the pharmacy of the world.
It is the responsibility of the government to investigate properly, because it is the question of the prestige of our nation, of our country. And if some children are killed in other country, it may happen even in our own country. So strict action should be taken against such companies.
I had no idea if the medicine had a bad impact on health, and we have to find out what is this. Only by blaming or non-blaming, that's a question. It's a question of life of the children.
नहीं, अब नाम्बिया के बाद जब उज़्बेकिस्तान में भी इसी तरह की घटना हुई हैं, जहां इंडियन मैन्युफैक्चर्ड मेडिसिन्स को यूज़ करने के बाद मरीजों की मौत हुई है, ये चिंताजनक भी है, अफसोसजनक भी है और निंदनीय भी है। भारत सरकार को उन फार्मास्यूटिकल फर्म्स का पता लगाना चाहिए जिन्होंने ये दवाइयाँ भेजी हैं। खाली ये कहने भर से कि इससे भारत का नाम बदनाम होता है, समस्या का समाधान नहीं होता और इनके विरुद्ध कड़ी कार्रवाई की जानी चाहिए।
Now remember, even as in India, India was blamed for what happened in Uzbekistan. The statement released by their government revealed that it is an overdose of a drug which is to be blamed. The statement says that the deceased children, before admission to hospital treatment, took the drug at home for 2 to 7 days, 3 to 4 times every day, which exceeds the standard dose for this drug for the children. It also says that all children were given this drug without a doctor's prescription. Not only this, but as per the investigation done by Uzbek authorities, each drug series was tested previously with subsequent issuance of a certificate of conformity as well. While the government has taken cognizance of the issue, the
further details of their own investigation, and of course, we understand that legal action has been initiated by the Uzbek authorities against some people, including the local representative of the company there, and that I know they are looking into it in terms of further investigation of the cough syrup.
Hate for Prime Minister Modi, Congress is now running down India and its entrepreneurial spirit. It is a fact that India is the laboratory, or it is the pharmacy of the world. We have provided vaccines and medicines to the world at the most critical times. And it has been proven and admitted by both the Gambian agency as well as the drug controller that the deaths in Gambia were not a result of the consumption of cough syrup produced in India.
Every incident is unfortunate, and obviously where action has to be taken, it's always taken. But it's unfortunate in the manner in which the Congress party almost wishes to celebrate in running down India's image. What is there, this thing about power to that extent? They are so desperate, it seems, that they will run down the whole industry. They will run down India's image for every incident.
Joining us on the debate, Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP, Ravi Srivastav, political analyst. Mr. Srivastav, why? What would you get from running down your own country's pharma industry?
Padmaja, I don't understand one thing, that just seeking a question from the ruling government or the party Why? How come it becomes a running down the government,
I'll
running
tell
down
you
the
how.
nation?
Nobody is running down the government. You can run down the government all you want. That is what the opposition does. It is when you run down the pharma industry. What is this? What is it that was said today morning by the Congress? It was said that Prime Minister should stop gloating about India being the pharmacy of the world, and he should see what is happening because Indian cough syrup is responsible for the death of Uzbek children. Well, news flash, Indian cough syrup is not responsible for the death of Uzbek children. Even Uzbekistan is not saying so, but we are saying so and saying stop feeling proud of your industry. Why?
That's your statement.
No, it's
just
not
now
my statement.
I have heard just now the MEA spokesperson, what he said, that the representatives, the legal action is being taken there in the Uzbekistan.
Okay.
He said Uzbek authorities have not taken up with the government of India till now.
No.
The embassy did some investigation at
No,
their
sir.
own end.
I
You
will
are
tell you
denying
what
the
Uzbekistan
statement
has
of
said.
your own MEA.
Arey sir,
Your own
hold on
MEA.
a second. You are misquoting the MEA. You are misquoting Uzbekistan, just like you misquoted Gambia. First of all, for the uninitiated, because mostly these stories are relegated to page 108. The same papers who would have put the WHO statement on the Gambia cough syrup on page 1 would then print a retraction on page 108. So let me actually quote to you what happened with the entire Gambia story. In Gambia story, World Health Organization prematurely linked the deaths of children to the cough syrup made in India. Fair enough, action was taken against the company. Eventually what happened? On the 2nd of November 2022, Gambia itself said that the connection of toxic cough syrup to the death of 70 children has not been confirmed. That is what Gambia said. The claim that toxic cough syrup allegedly caused the death of 70 children in the small country of Gambia in West Africa has not been confirmed by Gambian authorities. Subsequently, you had the Drug Controller General of India writing to the WHO saying a premature link was drawn between the deaths of children in Gambia and the 4 Indian-made cough syrups, which adversely impacted the image of the country's pharmaceutical products across the globe. This letter was written by Dr. V.G. Somani to Dr. Rogerio Gaspar, who is the Director of Regulation and Pre-Qualification. So there was fear-mongering and tarnishing that happened. In the latest case also, what has the country said, Uzbekistan? They have said, hello, this particular cough syrup was certified in their country. Point number 1. Point number 2, let's put out in fact what the Uzbekistan authorities have said. Uzbekistan authorities have said, point number 2, that this was taken without doctor's prescription, Ravi Srivastav. 3, that it was taken in large doses. And 4, it was taken in conditions which are unsuitable. When you take it at body temperature, it can cause irreparable harm. But we are like, no, India is terrible. Indian drugs are terrible.
Why are you advocating so much? Is it not the bad press for country? Is it not the world is seeing that some kind of a bad product is being manufactured in India? You are trying to justify.
Did you not hear what I said?
Who said that?
Nobody is calling the product bad except you and the Congress.
Why a criticism cannot be taken in the right earnest?
Because the criticism is misplaced, my friend.
If a criticism, government should take it in the right spirit and see to it that controls are done properly.
Sir,
why the saline glycol content was higher?
And since we are in the realm of the ridiculous now, let me give you an analogy. This is like me saying, you, Ravi Srivastav, are a COVID super spreader. And when you say, but I don't even have COVID, I'll say, but this is criticism, take it in the right spirit. Take it in the right spirit. You are a COVID super spreader. Go.
Your analogy is baseless.
No,
a COVID
your
patient
criticism
and
is
a cough
baseless.
syrup are two different things. They are being administered to the small children and their lives are lost. So somebody has to be held accountable. Somebody has to be held accountable for this. Whether it is DGSI, whether the manufacturer, whether the company exporting it, whosoever it is. And there was a test report, I said, there was a content of ethylene glycol in that, in a higher content. So there is a problem with the product is substandard. Somebody is making it without taking proper licenses. The company should be stopped immediately and they should be booked for a crime.
Okay. Please respond to this, Queen Sinha. Take the criticism in the right spirit. Although before you talk of the criticism, let me also remind you that the criticism is coming from nowhere but within India. What does the Agency for Development of Pharmaceutical Industry say? In Uzbekistan, it says each drug series was tested with the subsequent issuance of a certificate of conformity. This drug was imported into our country by Quaramax Medical LLC. So when they took this drug from India, they tested it, they gave it a certificate of conformity. But anyway, it's criticism, so we must take it in our stride. Queen Sinha.
Absolutely.
Padmaja, driven to despair by its infinite failures, the Congress party and the opposition have embarked on a devious agenda to malign the nation. And Jairam Ramesh's attack today is an extension of that. Please, Mr. Srivastav, I was enjoying your exchanges with Padmaja. Now you should enjoy. Now you should have the patience and the basic dignity to listen to others.
All in the same
I don't know why you should be so aghast with somebody trying to defend the image of the nation. The point is, Padmaja, that this attack comes at a time. Can you please ask him to keep quiet?
From your own people.
Can you? This
He is
attack from
responding to your
Jairam
criticism
Ramesh,
in a creative and a positive manner. Respond. Yes, go on.
Comes at a time when India made vaccines have potentially saved the lives of millions of people across the globe. This comes at a time when India has emerged as the pharma capital of the world, and India has emerged as the pharma capital of the world much at the expense of China, whose pharma exports have reported a 64% decline in the last 2 years. So who are you trying to attack with these baseless attacks? That's point number one. Point number two, you have seen the way the opposition party, especially the Congress, the people like Gaurav Pandey, the way they have spread vaccine hesitancy. At one point of time, they said that, calf serum has been used in co-vaccine. At one point of time, the Chhattisgarh government wrote to the health minister saying that we will not allow co-vaccine. So this is an extension of the attack against the country, and I think they need to introspect. What has brought you to this level where you are directly trying to denigrate the image of India, where you're trying to denigrate India's growth story?
They should be given the credit for that.
Of course, but you are at the end of the day denigrating India's image, and that will not be tolerated by those who love the country. If you are anti-Modi, fair enough, but don't denigrate the image of the country internationally. These cough syrups are consumed world over. Yes, what has happened in Gambia, and what has happened in Uzbekistan is extremely sad. But then you should know that these medicines have to be consumed under strict medical supervision and in prescribed doses. The Gambian government itself has said that there was an overdose. So why are you blaming the Indian government? Have you given up on India? Do you want to do your politics? Do you want to start a party in Gambia? Do you want to start a party in Uzbekistan?
45 lakh people died in this country, and you reported 5 lakhs.
By the way, sir, before we go off on a tangent, let me quickly backpedal to 2 years ago. Sir, even if we leave aside our indigenous vaccines, even if we leave aside both of these cough syrups, we leave aside Uzbekistan and Gambia, let me again remind you that 1 month ago, when the COVID surge happened in China, all experts said that the number one reason for that was that Chinese vaccines were not effective in the way that Indian vaccines were. We have managed to develop immunity thanks to the vaccines that we made in India, which, by the way, I remember reading at least 5 op-ed columns. We were told that these vaccines have not had their trials properly. We should import vaccines from China. Imagine if we'd done that. Anyhow, as they say, once is happenstance, twice can't just be a coincidence. We leave the rest to the judgment of the viewers. Before concluding, let me finally actually read out what Uzbekistan has said about this particular cough syrup. Among other things, all children were given the drug without a doctor's prescription. Since the main component of the drug is paracetamol, Doc 1 max syrup was incorrectly used by parents as an anti-cold remedy on their own or on the recommendation of pharmacy sellers, and this was the reason for the deterioration of the condition of patients. It's the Uzbek authorities who are saying this. However, obviously, we know better. Thanks very much, both gentlemen, for joining me.